Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
Listen to me.
Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9".
They'll run on first down. Dobbins, he'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
On second and 9, Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, Darius Slay with a pick. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. And down inside the 15 he goes. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw on 2nd down. Love to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. Pushing and fighting his way in. run for a Steeler touchdown. It's the fullback. His second touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, the spin. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Meanwhile, here a run on first down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Jahan, where are you? Who that?
Back near the goal line, Cousins. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 69 yards. So forget about any talk of possible safeties. Here's 1st and 10 clear on the other side of the field. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. On 2nd and 12, Cousins toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Check.
Shotgun snap and a give to Lindsey. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Check 59, Mike. Scene 6. 59.
To throw on third down. Love. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Cousins now. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
In your face.
Cousins to throw it. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Let's do this.
The Steelers take over first and
Ready.
10 at the 49.
We own it. We own it.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. 2nd and 13. He'll get this to Philip Lindsey, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 1st down, Love. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Okay, ready? 59. I got you. What happened?
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Screen pass to Lindsey. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Philip Lindsey, the intended target. The Browns drive about to get started. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for him throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
55. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up.
Cousins. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. It's fielded at the 45. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. Thomas, the intended target. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
I'm coming after you.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9.
59 Mike. Go.
Now a give right side. Dobbins, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
On the set. 54 Mike. Check. Watch 54. Here we go, D. Ready.
Throwing on first down. Love. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jordan. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Back to throw. Love. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off near the 29. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick 6s.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Now the try here for the point after. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
The conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They're on the tackle, Minka Fitzpatrick. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Hey, team 6.
First down, here's Cousins. And a little floater there is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And that'll bring up second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change that. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Yeah, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away. The Browns send out their punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. That's taken on the 25. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get to field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
This quarterback now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Janoris Jenkins on the coverage.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up.
Throwing again. Love. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating from the gun. Love. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will do it for this first half. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll go again with Lindsey. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Sad 60 Pittsburgh.
Looking to throw on second down. Love. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Looking to throw. Love. He'll find Lindsey here. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 35.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
They go back to the ground now with Lindsey. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go, let's go.
Here's 2nd and 8. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. From the gun, Love. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. George Kittle, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of a group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Browns drive about to get started, and their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing, and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Here's Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Cousins. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete. The rookie from Michigan there defensively. That's Devin Bush making the play.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. On 1st down, Dobbins. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go.
Now Cousins. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing is Cousins. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off Byron Jones. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, from what we've seen thus far, this is not a formula for winning football. When you have more turnovers than points scored, that's a tough way to try and win a game.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Come to my work. We want it. Come to my work.
Nice 7. Let's go.
To throw again. Love. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That's good for 28 yards.
Red. 10 Lobo. Hey, pick your game up.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike's at 59. And we're pretty quiet, team. We're pretty quiet.
Back to throw. Love. Open man is Samuel. Complete. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Andrew Billings gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Following the sack, they go from the 13 on 3rd and goal.
59 Mike, check, 59. Let's go.
Operating from the gun, Love. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. That time 12 yards on the pass play, but still shy of where they needed to go. 4th and goal.
Well, that's just simply not right. To make that kind of a catch, that spectacular, and not get a first down out of it.
I guess he could put it on his personal highlight reel, however.
Yeah, he'll get the catch, he'll get the yardage, but he doesn't get what he really wants.
The offense is going to stay out there. We'll see what the play call is. They need to find the right one here on 4th. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. It's the fullback. His second touchdown of the night. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Now the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Makes the score Steelers 31, Browns 3.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
At their own 13-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Push him back. Push him back.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. 23 yards the pickup there.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Silver.
Throwing, Cousins. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw is Cousins. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
Let's go, D.
They'll run on first down. Dobbins. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 33.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They go play action. Cousins. And now here is another interception. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Here's Lindsey. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. On first down, right back to Lindsey. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Pilot, 64, weak. Double up.
Jack! Slam!
Ready.
Now a carry for Lindsey. And some room to work. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And he will be taken down, but not before he gets this to the Browns' 24.
And the Steelers first first down.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
That's track. Check, check, check. Go.
They'll run. It's Lindsey. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
2nd and 6. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Love. That's Samuel, caught left side. And they'll get to him short of the 1st down at about the 16. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
The Browns' drive about to get started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
4 down, even.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll keep it on the ground. Dobbins. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Right. He's tied right here. He's tied on the right. Hey.
Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will be marked down short of the 1st as they get to him at the 29. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rap.
And my goodness, another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown.
Keep getting those touchdowns.
That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
A try here for the extra point. And oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes.
And now here is another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
The quarterback on the keeper. A loss of a yard. Brings up second and 11 at the Browns' 31-yard line.
Okay, break. 54. Mike's 54. Don't get nervous.
On second down, it's Lindsey. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 24. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. and never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows, you may meet up with this team again.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you could just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football, because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for Pittsburgh, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions.